Opening prayer by Reverend Professor Willis Otuya.
While standing, shall we bow down for the opening prayer? Our Heavenly Father, once again we gather here for this great event, the graduation of this year. We thank you for having carried us through the last academic year, whose climax is today. We had truly challenging moments preparing students for this day through the challenges of the global pandemic, COVID-19. This was no mean task, but by your grace, by your help, you made it possible. And the Lord, we gather here to give you praise and to give you honor and to say Ebenezer for this far you have brought us. The Lord, as we start this day, we want to remember that there are many, many young Kenyans that you have prepared to graduate and go out to build this nation. We ask that the Lord, you will indeed bless them. It is you who opens doors. You made it possible for them to go through this course. And the Lord, as they finish today with the crowns, you are the Lord. When you open the doors, no one is able to shut. We pray that you'll give them opportunities in this land and opportunities beyond. We thank you for the entire event. We invite your presence that you'll guide us through. We pray that you'll be with us right from the start up to the end. In Jesus' name we pray, and let all of us say amen. Thank you.
Declaration of the 17th Congregation of Masinde Muliro University of Science and Technology.
In accordance with the Masinde Muliro University of Science and Technology Charter 2013, Section 7.1, and by the powers conferred upon me in the Masinde Muliro University of Science and Technology Statutes 2020, Section 55.3, I declare this congregation the 17th Congregation of Masinde Muliro University of Science and Technology.
We may be seated. Mr. Chancellor, sir, without wasting time, allow me to usher in a brief entertainment session. We shall have a number of cultural groups that shall be presenting today. The first presentation will be a Machina cultural group with an Isukuti presentation. This is a cultural dance, Mr. Chancellor, sir, that is performed during celebrations. After the Emachina cultural group, we shall have the Luo cultural group, Ma speakers, a Gikuyu cultural group, and the Waremba cultural group in that order. Emachina cultural group, tafadhali tuharakishe. The first presentation, Emachina cultural group. Thereafter, we shall have the Luo cultural group, then the Ma speakers, in that order. Tuharakishe tafadhali. Asante sana Emachina Cultural Group. Tuwapigie makofi Emachina Cultural Group. Mr. Chancellor Sir, wanaofuata ni Luo Cultural Group. Luo Cultural Group ndo hao wanafuata. Aya, tuwapigie makofi Luo Cultural Group. Wanaoingia sasa ni Speakers. Speakers kutoka kwa jamii ya Wamasai. Vile vile na nyimbo ambayo inachezwa wakati wa sherehe. Asante sana. Speakers. Asante sana Speakers. Wanaoingia sasa ni Agikuyu Cultural Troupe. Agikuyu Cultural Troupe wanafuata. Asante sana Agikuyu Cultural Group. Wanaofuata sasa Mheshimiwa Chancellor ni Weremba Cultural Group kutoka eneo la Navaholo, kaunti ya Kakamega, wakiwa na densi ya kiasili inayozungumzia umuhimu wa elimu katika jamii. Wanaingia Weremba Cultural Group kutoka Navaholo, kaunti ya Kakamega.
Masinde Muliro. Masinde Muliro kugenda na kwefumya. Masinde Muliro kugenda na kwefumya. Eko koliko. Eko kwa ino bareba. Eko kwa ino bare DJ. Eko kwa ino bareba. Twende kazi. Shut. Masinde Muliro, musianinie. Masinde Muliro lina yakabale bose. Banjo kwa wanda sewana. Masinde Muliro kama somo kwa somo. PhD, tosi chiriwo. Ewe mawadi aliwai. Ewe mutuwa, profesa we, kalipoli wae. Profesa mutuwa uliyenewe. Eta kitari baye muliyenenywe. Ukenda ne uroma basale. Ukenda ne ulira basale. Wanda kumasomo. Amasomo kwegoyera. PhD mungo chiriwe. PhD mai chiriwe. Kwegoyera no mai. Amasomo kweusoma. Abale baba kenye bali.
Asante sana Weremba Cultural Group. Tuwapigie makofi Weremba Cultural Group wakati wanapoondoka. Asante sana Weremba Cultural Group. Mr. Chancellor Sir, allow me to invite the last entertainment group for the day. Masinde Muliro University of Science and Technology University Choir will be performing Hongera Mahafala, led by Derek Alumase. Hongera Mahafala will mark the last presentation for us today. Hongera Mahafala. Tuharakishe tafadhali. Tuharakishe.
Tunajibu
Asante sana. Tuwapigie makofi wakati wanapoondoka wana Must Choir na wimbo wao Hongera Mahafala. Mr. Chancellor Sir, that marks the end of our entertainment session. I'd like to extend sincere thanks to Dr. Father Kizito Mchanga and his entire team for organizing today's entertainment session in a very good way. Asante sana. Thank you.
May I take this opportunity to recognize one of our beloved invited guests. And I'll start with the Vice Chancellor, Maseno University, Professor Julius Nyabundi. May he stand wherever he is. We also have other recognized visitors amongst us. We have Vice Chancellor Meru University. Do we have Vice Chancellor Meru University? Or representative, the chair? And other guests will be recognized as we come in. At this juncture, may I invite the chair alumni to come and address the congregation. Chair alumni. Apparently the chairman is a bit late, but we'll recognize him when he comes in. Mr. Chancellor Sir, Cabinet Secretary, Ministry of Education, Representative Principal Secretary, University Education and Research, Chancellors of other universities present, Chairperson of Council, Dr. Musangi Jane Mutua, other chairpersons of council, members of Masinde Muliro University of Science Council and other councils, vice chancellors, principals of university colleges, members of University Management Board and Senate, university staff, members of the Students' Executive Council, graduates, families and friends, students, invited guests, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Apparently, as I was speaking, the chair alumni just dropped in. I'll just invite him to say a word, and then we proceed.
Thank you very much, Mr. Vice Chancellor Sir, the Chancellor, the Chair of Council, the Principal Secretary, University Education and Research, Dr. Nabukwesi, Deans of Faculties, Chair of Departments, teaching and non-teaching staff, and our graduates. It pleases me today that we congregate here to celebrate our various academic achievements. I take this earliest opportunity to congratulate you for not just choosing Masinde Muliro University, but choosing it and pursuing your dreams to their logical conclusion. Today, as the chair of alumni, we welcome you. We welcome you to this body that prides itself in our rich history and a promising future. We also take this special opportunity to welcome to our Alumni Association, Dr. James Mwangi, who will be honored today for his great service and selfless approach to charitable works and building of institutions. Welcome to our Alumni Association, Daktari. We are proud of you. We are honored to have you in our Alumni Association. And we thank the University Council and the academic staff for realizing and appreciating your positive contribution to the growth of our social and economic spheres of our country. To young men graduating with your first degree, with your certificate and diplomas, this is a foundation of your academic journey. Today, you will be given powers to pursue everything that pertains to those degrees. I also thank the growing list of young men who have chosen to pursue their postgraduate studies at Masinde Muliro University of Science and Technology. And I point out with pride a young man in the name of Alfred Makotsi, who has pursued his Masters of Science degree in Diplomacy and International Relations in a record 24 months. This is indeed testimony that those who choose to do their postgraduate degrees here at Masinde Muliro and commit their effort and whatever it takes, they will graduate in the required time, which is 2 years. Congratulations, Alfred Makotsi. On behalf of the young people who have chosen to do their postgraduate degree with us, we welcome you and urge many more to choose Masinde Muliro as a university of choice. May God bless you, and we wish you the best of your endeavors as you graduate.
Again, all protocol observed. Good morning. I wish to take this opportunity to welcome you all to Masinde Muliro University of Science and Technology. Today is the day we are celebrating our 17th graduation, and we feel honored that you have been able to find time and opportunity to celebrate with us. I thank the Almighty God who has enabled us to reach this far. I applaud the students for their determination, commitment, toil, to ensure that they attained what was required of them to graduate. Equally, I recognize the efforts of lecturers and professors who have worked hard to ensure that the students are equipped with the knowledge, values, and skills that will enable them fit the requirements of the job market. We are confident that our students graduating today will certainly fit where others have not been able to. These students are graduating today studied, sat for examinations, and are graduating amidst the challenges occasioned by COVID-19. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm happy to inform you that the university was able to conduct virtual postgraduate thesis defenders by putting in place measures to protect, prevent, and manage the COVID-19 pandemic as required by the Ministry of Health. This was done in partnership with the government of Kenya. These measures included social distancing, installation of hand-washing booths, wearing of masks, and checking of temperature for everyone who enters the university. All these efforts are the reason we are able to hold a 15th graduation ceremony in December 2020, also the 16th graduation ceremony in August 2021, and this 17th graduation ceremony today. The university continues to excel in its vision as the premier university in science, technology, and innovation. We have a vision of building an institution with ideals that are required of the stature of an international university. We aim to continue offering quality teaching and learning through programs that are market-driven, such as clinical medicine, medicine itself, public health, paramedical sciences, cosmetology, optometry, and vision sciences, among others. Some of these programs are only offered at Masinde Muliro University of Science and Technology. As such, we have, in these programs, we have students who have filled the capacity to the full, indicating to us that they're actually what the market demands. We are going to avail the necessary requirements needed for enabling these programs to go on. For example, equipment, infrastructure that facilitate learning. Ladies and our gentlemen, we have also increased our research through the research division. We thank the council which allocated 500 million for research activities. We are glad to report that all the 11 schools in the university participated in the competition for the research and also won the different research projects. And this funded about 25 million of those projects. The university also competitively vetted and allocated Kenya shillings 8 million towards 8 institutional researchers and Kenya shillings 2.2 million towards 11 school research workshops. In terms of innovation, 17 projects were competitively vetted and funded to the tune of 5.1 million. We have also continued to receive external research funding from the National Research Fund, amounting to Kenya shillings 12.5 million, as well as 17 million from other donors. During the COVID-19 pandemic era, which is still continuing, the university has been able to champion the production of sanitizers, hand washing soaps, bleach, and disinfectants. Our various schools offering health-related programs had been handling emergencies, monitoring and treatment of COVID-19, as well as being in the forefront in creating awareness in nutrition and general wellness. We also had mass production of face masks for our staff, especially those in essential services. We keep on researching to find relevant insights about COVID-19 and its variants. We hope that these researches will give solutions on the management and protection against the pandemic. As a university, we are committed to expand research, funding opportunities through funded local and international grants, local and global partnerships and collaborations. This will be done after development of research teams in line with our established niche areas of, among others, engineering, medicine, disaster management, and agriculture. We are cognizant of the fact that the impact of research is underpinned to its benefit to the society. Therefore, as a university, we are set to commercialize productivity through innovation and incubation ideas. We shall do this by establishing a commercial hub and increasing the number of patents in collaboration with other partners and companies. The university is also committed to prudent management of its funds to ensure sustainability and effective service delivery to all its clients. Ladies and gentlemen, I thank the government through the National Treasury for providing funds to build an engineering and TVET complex at a cost of Kenya shillings 800 million in the next 3 years, and with an initial commitment of Kenya shillings 100 million. We assure the government that this will strive to build the complex in time. We are also in the process of establishing what's known as the Atwoli International Center for for Leadership and Labor Studies at a cost of approximately 1.2 billion. We encourage like-minded stakeholders to follow the example of Dr. Atwoli in assisting us build two other projects which Masinde Muliro University of Science and Technology has submitted proposals, and these are namely the Education Complex and the Health Sciences Complex. These buildings will house lecture theaters, laboratories, workshops, offices, auditoriums, among others. Ladies and gentlemen, as we are aware, universities are challenged with the diminishing financial resources from the exchequer and traditional funders. Some universities have gone to the extent of accumulating heavy debts over time. This has brought the need to make some difficult decisions that have been painful to both workers and stakeholders. I take this opportunity to inform stakeholders that so far MUST has continued to put in place measures that are minimized financial leakages and misuse. And these include adoption of technology, including ERP, for its operations, and also employing the right staff. Masinde Muliro University has therefore not accumulated any debts. We have continued to pay our creditors in time as we deliver services to our clients. Notwithstanding the above, MUST is still challenged with funding to achieve its objectives. For example, we do not have enough staff and non-teaching members of staff who are able to carry out those programs that I said are noble to us. Secondly, the university lacks laboratories, critical equipment, and other facilities, and hence the need for sourcing more funds while prudently managing the little we have. Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the staff of MUST, I wish to take this opportunity to thank the Council for allowing us to promote staff in what is dubbed Motion Moja. We thank you for development of documents of staff which will enable us to place staff at their correct place in what is known as staff establishment. To this end, I want to thank the unions who have embraced dialogue in us dealing with our internal issues, and I assure you this will go a long way to creating a harmonious, peaceful, and tranquil university environment. I further urge the unions to continue embracing dialogue henceforth as we look into some of the challenges we still have to surmount. Among them, in the discussion of CBA, one thing I've been asking us is that you need to trust management and the leadership in whole. But I believe in the end we'll come to an amicable solution, and soon. Regarding students, the university is consulting with its stakeholders to address some of the issues that we need. Among the most prudent areas that we need extra hostels. This may address one of the challenges that we have, which is security. I also want to thank the county government of Kakamega, who have been helping us in this area. They have bought us 3 masts, these floodlights, in the different 3 regions of this camp, where especially students stay, and that has improved security a lot. We also wish to challenge partners to help us in developing some of the structures that may help students. Among them include a student center. We know if we challenge banks for funding, they are likely to fund us in this area, so that students can have an amicable social life while they're around. Ladies and gentlemen, we also challenging partners and stakeholders to join us so that you can work together for many development issues. We especially wish to thank the Chancellor, who provided seed for what we call the Chancellor's Kitty. This was in the tune of 600,000 Kenya shillings. And in one occasion here, I pronounce it as 600 million. But I'm a man of God. Therefore, I prophesy that we shall achieve that in the near future. If you believe with me, you would have clapped, eh? The alumni, especially as you heard, we have a very cordial, beautiful relationship amongst us. They are helping us, and together with the Chancellor, in achieving that noble objective that he has said. I wish, as I conclude, to assure students, just like I said in the beginning, that my tenure shall and will remain a student-centered in resolving their issues. As I finish, I wish to congratulate our graduates and wish them well in their endeavors. To the parents and guardians, we thank you for supporting your children in all areas in form of fees, food, health, clothing, and many other requirements. I wish all stakeholders present here today and those following us online a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. May God bless you all. Before I sit down, may I recognize the presence of the following guests. Here it is. That's Professor Masinde Muliro. Professor Masinde Muliro is amongst us there. Is accompanying the chairman of Equity Group Holdings. Secondly, Professor Phillips Raburu, who is DVC Planning, Research and Extension, representing Vice Chancellor at University of Eldoret. May you stand so that we recognize you? At this juncture, may I welcome our chair to come and address the congregation.
The Chancellor of Masinde Muliro University of Science and Technology, Dr. Peter Wanyaga Muthoka, the Principal Secretary, University Education and Research, represented by Madam Lucy Mugwe, Chairperson, Equity Group, Professor Masharia, members of university councils represented here, our two special guests today, Dr. James Mwangi and Dr. Manu Chandaria, our Vice Chancellor, Professor Solomon Shibairo, Vice Chancellors of other universities present, Masinde Muliro Deputy Vice Chancellors, Principals of university colleges, specifically principals of our constituent colleges, Kaimosi and Turukana, and others who could be in, members of university management boards and senate, university staff, members of Students' Executive Council, graduates, families and friends, students, or invited guests. Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. I take this opportunity to thank you for making time to congregate with us as we celebrate our 2021 cohort for their great deal of effort and endurance. Indeed, it goes without saying that COVID-19 pandemic has been a challenge to students and has caused great limitations to universities and the nation at large. However, this rare ceremony is a testimony of our fortitude against all odds to remain relevant in teaching, learning through science, technology, research, and innovation. Ladies and gentlemen, Masinde Muliro University of Science and Technology was founded on the grounds of innovation and research with a view to making a difference in our communities. Over the years, this great university has earned its place as one of the leading public universities in Kenya. Therefore, this auspicious ceremony provides an opportunity to reminisce about our achievements and strides towards becoming a premier university in science, technology, and innovation. Mr. Chancellor, sir, this university has yet again undoubtedly produced a fine class of well-trained and skilled individuals who are ready to make a difference in the world. We have walked this journey with them by ensuring rigorous teaching and learning continues through our able open distance and e-learning platform. As a university, we pride ourselves on our dedicated staff, effective leadership, and management whose diligent efforts have enabled us count this ceremony as yet another milestone in our books. Mr. Chancellor, sir, we are dedicated to upscaling and directing our resources as an institution towards achieving academic excellence, research, innovation, consultancy services, financial growth, sustainability, and institutional capacity in accordance with the university's strategic plan 2019-2020, 2022-2023. I am happy to report that we are on the right track in the implementation of this strategic plan, and MOO's strategic plan and the Council, under my leadership, is fully committed to its oversight role in this implementation process. The annual performance contract evaluation between the Council and the Government of Kenya for the financial year 2020-2021 was successfully carried out by the Office of the President in November this year. This is an important exercise for Masinde Muliro University since it provides an opportunity to keep track of our progress. The operations of this university are guided by the legal framework provided by the university's charter, statutes, ordinances, and other regulations enacted by the university from time to time. Mr. Chancellor, sir, allow me to remind this congregation of the notable groundbreaking of the technical, vocational, and educational training and engineering complex, which will revolutionize our standards of training. As a university, we are grateful to the National Government of Kenya and the Ministry of Education for availing funds towards this endeavor I say this against the backdrop of the dwindling financial position of most universities in our country today. It is therefore a great honor to be entrusted by the national, county governments and partners in our common pursuit for quality higher education in our country. Ladies and gentlemen, I am reliably informed that the Olympic-sized swimming pool that the university is constructing will be one of the only 3 of its kind in the entire country. In our quest to improve the quality of teaching and learning, as well as research in this great university, we continue to seek meaningful partnership and collaborations which have contributed immensely towards disciplinary research and acquisition of state-of-art equipment for teaching and learning. Mr. Chancellor, sir, this university is committed to its mission to provide excellent university education and research through integrating science, technology, and innovation into quality programs to pursue the needs of a dynamic world. I am pleased to say that our researchers have time after time risen to the occasion and provided solutions during times of crisis, as the COVID-19 pandemic. Innovations on COVID-19 such as the Sunny Hub and the Sunny Booth, together with other research works, have proved that this university has a reliable pool of researchers at their disposal. Ladies and gentlemen, our commitment to conducting quality and meaningful research is also evident through our University Research Fund, which has greatly empowered researchers in this institution. Workshops and conferences have also exposed commendable research works, notably the first blended research dissemination workshop held in August this year, graced by the Cabinet Secretary, Ministry of Health, Honorable Mutahi Kagwe, showcased the expertise of our able research team. The huge number of research work, especially on COVID-19, presented during the conference was an indication of this university's continued commitment towards complementing the government of Kenya's effort to improve systems in the country in line with the Kenya's Big Four agenda. I greatly commend our researchers for this. Mr. Chancellor, sir, allow me to address the graduating class of 2021. I congratulate you for this well-deserved achievement. I urge you to savor this moment because it is a true indication of your hard work. Faced with the obstacles, you did not let the pandemic overshadow your 4 years of painstaking endurance and effort. However, with success comes an even greater responsibility. A responsibility to yourself, your family, your community, university, and the country. How will you use the skills and knowledge you have acquired from Masinde Muliro of Science and Technology to make a difference? As you ponder on this, I wish to assure you that you are fully prepared and has what it takes to conquer the world out there. I wish you all the best in your future undertakings, with certainty that you will be great ambassadors of this university. I wish you all fruitful festivities and a happy New Year 2022. Mungu awabariki sana. Asante. And before I leave, I have the pleasure to invite the Principal Secretary, University Education and Research, represented by Madam Lucy Mugwe. Karibu, Madam.
Good morning, all. My name is Lucy Mugwe, representing the Principal Secretary, State Department for University Education and Research in this ceremony today. And I will now read the speech of Ambassador Simon Nabukwesi during the Masinde Muliro University of Science and Technology 17th graduation ceremony. Mr. Chancellor, Sir, Dr. Peter Wanyaga Mudhoka, Chair of Council, Masinde Muliro, Dr. Jane Musangi Mutua, and Chair of Council for our constituent colleges, Kaimosi and Turkana College, members of the University Council, Masinde Muliro, Kaimosi, and Turkana, Chairperson, Equity Group, Professor Masharia Muturi, our two special guests today, Dr. James Mwangi and Dr. Manu Chandaria, Masinde Muliro University of Science and Technology Vice Chancellor, Professor Solomon Shibairo, Vice Chancellors from other universities present here today, Deputy Vice Chancellors, Deans, Directors, and Heads of Department, organizers of this great graduation ceremony, researchers and scholars, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. It gives me great pleasure to join you in this morning on this special occasion when Masinde Muliro University of Science and Technology is celebrating its 17th graduation. I take this opportunity to congratulate all the graduates for this prodigious achievement and wish you all success as you get into the job market. I urge you to be good ambassadors of Masinde Muliro University of Science and Technology by seeking to innovate sustainable solutions to the challenges facing the society. Ladies and gentlemen, the government of Kenya has remained steadfast in funding institutions of higher learning to ensure sustainability of learning despite the COVID-19 pandemic and its effects. I therefore urge the university management to leverage on interdisciplinary research to generate supplementary funds to address resource scarcity and financial crisis that is being experienced in most higher learning institutions at the moment. I assure you that the Ministry of Education is exploring all possible solutions to address financial instability in our universities. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to reassure this congregation that my office has formulated and reviewed policies on higher education in collaboration with the Commission for Higher Education, the Higher Education Loans Board, and other relevant institutions and departments to ensure that no student is locked out of school due to lack of finances. We are committed to facilitating all students to gain access to higher education through the provision of scholarships and disbursement of grants and bursaries. I wish to remind all students here today to be financially prudent with the resources provided to them, especially the HELB loans. I encourage you to use the monies for the intended purpose. Ladies and gentlemen, the State Department for University Education and Research has numerous opportunities for university students, such as student exchange programs, facilitation of acquisition of travel documents and clearance for students proceeding for university education overseas. Ladies and gentlemen, true to the vision of this institution, I encourage you to strive to be a premier university in science, technology, and innovation. This will allow you to maintain the front-runner position in exploiting technology and enhance online learning. I encourage you to establish strategic partnerships with key players in the ICT sector. This will be crucial in tapping the massive potential that will allow you to expand the frontiers of open distance and electronic learning. In a special way, I would like to thank the Masinde Muliro University of Science and Technology Vice Chancellor, Professor Solomon Shibairu, for the stability he has entrenched in this institution from the time he took over the university leadership. I encourage you to keep up the great work you're doing to ensure you take Masinde Muliro University of Science and Technology to greater heights. Do not let the challenges posed by COVID-19 bar you from serving the Masinde Muliro University of Science and Technology community. Ladies and gentlemen, with these few remarks, I would like to thank the university management for making this day a success. I wish you all the best in your endeavors. God bless you. Thank you. It is now my humble duty to invite our Chancellor, Dr. Peter Wanyaga Mudhoka, to address the congregation.
By Mrs. Lucy Mogoe, the Chair of the Council, Dr. Jane Musangi Mutua, members of the University Council, both here in Masinde Muliro University Mother Campus, and also our two university colleges, Kafuko and Turkana, the Governor of Kakamega and other governors represented here, most Vice Chancellor Professor Solomon Chibairo, Vice Chancellors from other universities present, Deputy Vice Chancellors, Deans, Directors, and Heads of Departments, organizers of this great graduation ceremony, researchers and scholars. I would like to reiterate the other guests who have already been mentioned, and I'll mention only a few at this stage. Professor Julius Nyaburo of the VC of Maseno University, Professor Macharia Muturi, Chairman of Equity Group Holdings, and a doctor of ENT, and my former colleague for a long time, since 60s. Professor Philip Raburu, DVC of University of Eldoret. I would like to mention also my wife, Mrs. Lucy Nyaluai Muthoka, who has accompanied me. Then I have two special guests who have been mentioned, and we shall be hearing a bit more about them. My old colleague as a captain of the industry, Dr. James Mwangi and Mrs. Mwangi, and the other colleague as a company captain of the industry, Dr. Manu Chandaria, who is represented here. I would like to indicate and restate you are all welcome to this very important ceremony that we are conducting today. I, as Chancellor, am delighted to participate in the 17th graduation ceremony of Masinde Muliro University of Science and Technology on this 17th day of December 2021. This is the second time this year that we are rolling out our graduates into the job market. It gives me immense pleasure as the Chancellor of this great institution to welcome all of you to this important annual event. With the recent formal inauguration of Professor Solomon Iwosagwa Shibairo as the third Vice Chancellor of Masinde Muliro University of Science and Technology, and the appointment of the 3 Vice Chancellors, I'm happy to note that we now have substantive leaders of this great institution. I would like to avail myself of this opportunity to also indicate that the councils of our 3 institutions making up Masinde Muliro University of Science and Technology, that is the Council of Masinde Muliro led by Dr. Jane Musangi Mutua. We have also the chair, the Kaimosi University College, Kaimosi Fred's University College, also represented here. We have Turkana University College. These institutions, these councils, the management, the board of management, and also the Senate, staff, and everybody else, they have done extremely well. And as Chancellor of this university, I commend all of you for the work you continue to do. I avail myself also of this opportunity to commend the students, the alumni, and indeed all the stakeholders for this university. I urge the stakeholders to render the necessary support to the councils and also particularly the new team led by the Vice Chancellor as they continue with the gigantic task of running this university. Once again, I congratulate Professor Shibairo and his deputies, and I mention them by name. We were having our inauguration ceremony here on 12th of November, and whatever we said about working together and the fact that the government and the other stakeholders have been able to assist us to get this substantive top management is something that is very commendable. The deputies, Vice Chancellor, Planning, Research and Innovation, Professor Charles Mutai, Deputy Vice Chancellor, Academic and Student Affairs, Professor Hussein Gorisha, and Deputy Vice Chancellor, Administration and Finance, Professor John Thuokuria. This is the team to continue our quest to maintain MUST as one of the top universities in this country and beyond. As a university of science and technology, we must continue to strive to maintain a culture of compliance with the university policies, education regulations, and international higher education best practice. This is especially so in matters of examinations and research. Let us extend the implementation of best practice in research and innovation activities and in the area of entrepreneurship. In order to improve and maintain our global competitiveness, we must infuse the aspirations of the Big Four agenda, Sustainable Development Goals, and the African Agenda 2063. I would like to restate something that is very crucial about our vision, our mission, and our core values. Our vision as Masinde Muliro University of Science and Technology is to be the premier university of science, technology, and innovation. The mission, as has already been restated, is to provide excellent university education, training, and research through integrating science, technology, and innovation into quality programs to suit the needs of a dynamic world. We are trying all the time to fulfill our vision and the mission, and I can state that we are getting there. As for the core values, we have the customer focus, accountability, collegiality, equity, excellence, innovativeness, and professionalism. These are key, and we are moving indeed in that direction. We have moved, and we are doing very well. As we heard from the Vice Chancellor, in terms of financial management, we are doing reasonably well, and we pay our salaries on time, the deductions, and the audit is in good shape. The financial matters are moving on fine. In terms of personnel management, we have everything under control. This does not always happen with many institutions, but Masinde Muliro, I must commend again the councils, the management, the Senate, the staff, and everybody else for ensuring that that aspect of financial management and now what we would call peace and harmony, working with the other stakeholders like the unions, the alumni, and so on and so forth, is something that is very, very commendable indeed. I continue and state that universities that will succeed in this era are those that harness innovation to transform communities. I'm advised that the most science park innovation and incubation center is currently working towards the commercialization of 8 prospective prototypes that innovators in this university have developed. Innovation is key, and the Kenyans can be able to get to any level, as we shall be hearing later on when we come to the people that will be awarded the honorary degrees. Innovators, people who have done best in this world, and Kenyans can be able to do that. Those are the best examples that have been chosen, and we are very grateful that both of them, Dr. James Mwangi and Dr. Manu Chandaria, have kindly agreed to be awarded this degree as an example of what Kenyans can do, and we are capable of doing it. I really would like to continue and say that I encourage you to sensitize the communities around about the available products innovated in the university. This will not only raise the awareness levels of the available products, but also increase purchases, which in turn will generate revenue for the university. This is regarding the issue of finances. We cannot rely all the time on what we get from the treasury. We are very grateful of what we get from the treasury, but we must have other income generating activities. This is happening particularly through research and collaborations, and this was clearly elaborated by the VC. Thank you very much for doing that. Ladies and gentlemen, I commend the researchers and scholars of this university for placing the institution on the global map through organizing international workshops at the fora despite the challenges of COVID-19. Notable among these, as you have heard, is the recent first-bladed research dissemination conference graced by Honorable Mutahi Kagwe, the Cabinet Secretary, Ministry of Health, which took place on 30th and 31st August. In other words, when you come up with research findings, they must be disseminated for the sake of the society. And that is what this university is doing, and that is something that is expected of universities of great repute, like Masinde Muliro University of Science and Technology. As you may be aware, ladies and gentlemen, most recently hosted the STEMIC International Visual Conference themed STEM Education in Africa and Beyond during the post-COVID-19, ensuring quality, equity, and inclusivity, which took place from Wednesday 17th to 19th of November 2021. This conference, sponsored jointly by this university, Sam Houston State University, and Diversity Education Institute, was truly global, drawing researchers from across many countries, including Russia, Germany, United States of America, Uganda, United Kingdom, Turkey, South Africa, Nigeria, and Kenya. Indeed, universities of the caliber of Masinde Muliro University of Science and Technology must continue to provide avenues for analysis, reflection, and the resolution of current catastrophes facing humankind. Most, as everybody is aware now, is a huge resource, not only for the county where we are right now, but for the rest of the nation and indeed for the entire world. I continue to urge everybody to utilize the expertise that this university has on offer and use it to run its programs and projects. Collaboration in various areas of agriculture, engineering, disaster management, health and environment will certainly yield immense benefits for the university, the community, and the entire nation. Most cooperation in areas of development indeed extend to the region, the nation, and the group. As a way of emphasis, ladies and gentlemen, most values public-private partnerships, PPP, collaborations at all levels of the society. I'm happy to repeat and to re-emphasize, I am happy to see that some key developments have been undertaken, including the groundbreaking of the Tibet, which we did on 12th of November this year, and where, as you have heard, the Ministry or the government of the Republic of Kenya has kindly agreed to assist MUST with 800 million Kenya shillings. This breaking of TVET and engineering complex is extremely important. The commencement of the construction of the Olympic-sized swimming pool and installation of a lift in the administration block is something else that is of great interest. Once the developments are completed, they will boost the artistic appeal of the university, improve service delivery, while at the same time will enhance our studying among the peers. Already this is a beautiful university situated in a serene, cool, and student-friendly environment. We are already aware that we have the third vice chancellor who was installed. We also had three chancellors. The first chancellor for this university was my former professor in the University of East Africa, Professor Bethel Ogot, Bethel Alan Ogot. The second one was the third president of the Republic of Kenya. And we can say we continue to get a lot of advice from them to ensure that this university continues to play the role that it is supposed to do. They said their greetings. A word on the two colleagues, captains of the industry that I have talked about. Dr. Manu Chandaria, OBE, CBS, EBS, and Dr. James Mwangi, CBS. We offer them congratulations, and these are innovators and entrepreneurs. And as I have said, they have given the good example of what Kenyans can achieve. They have brought transformation to our societies, not only here, but in the entire globe. They are examples of philanthropy, creation of wealth and employment, and innovation in a very, very great extent. So we shall be saying more about that, but we are very, very pleased to be associated with Kenyans of this caliber. In conclusion, I say to those of you who are graduating today, as your chancellor, I urge you to step into the job market with confidence, knowing that you will excel. I always keep on quoting all the time about my chancellor, the late Mwalimu Julius Kabarege Nyerere, who was my chancellor in the University of East Africa in 1963-66, and he also always used to say, and I'm actually repeating this, I don't know how many times, that there is nothing that you want to do, that Kenya wants to do, that we cannot do, provided everybody plays their role. Play your part wherever you will be, either if you are employed or even if you are going to be self-employed, play your role. Kenya is our country. What we need is peace and stability, and we can do it so long as everybody continues to play their role. Through your good performance in the industry, this university will position itself as the university known for harnessing research, technology, and innovation, and indeed entrepreneurship. I urge you to go out there, dear graduates, and do what we have empowered you to do. we offer you congratulations, wish everybody Merry Christmas and a happy 2022, and ahead with God bless most, God bless Kenya. Thank you very much.
Citation on Manilal Premchand Chandaria, OBE, CBS, EBS, on conferment upon him in absentia of the honorary degree of Doctor of Humane Letters in Business Technology, honoris causa, by Masinde Muliro, University of Science and Technology, on Friday, 17th December 2021. Ladies and gentlemen, we present to you an industrialist, Dr. Manilal Premchand Chandaria, who was born on 1st March, the year 1929, in the city of Nairobi, to his late father, who was an Indian merchant who moved to Nairobi in 1915 to earn a living with a dream to earn 4,000 Kenya shillings. Dr. Chandaria attended basic education in various schools in Nairobi and Mombasa. In 1949, he graduated with a BSc degree from the University of Bombay, India. In 1950, he graduated with a BSc in engineering from the University of Oklahoma, USA, and 1951, he graduated with a master's in engineering from the same university. Upon returning to Kenya from the US, he began to work in his family's business alongside other members of his family, where he helped to grow the family business into the current multi-billion Comcraft business empire. To achieve this trial, the family used to put in long hours in the business, going to bed late and waking up early to make the business a success. It is this hard work that propelled the initially low-scale merchandise business into the current business empire under his stewardship. To date, the Comcraft business empire is engaged in work covering many aspects with the businesses interests in more than 45 countries and a workforce numbered in many thousands. Dr. Chandaria is a strong admirer of philanthropic attributes of Dr. John D. Rockefeller and Henry Ford, who established the Rockefeller Foundation and Ford Foundation respectively. The two inspired his philanthropic streak, which saw the family establish the Chandaria Foundation, a charitable and social network platform responsible for improvement of quality of lives among millions of Kenyans and the world at large. His philanthropic streak also emanated from his strong belief and commitment to principles of Jainism. In recognition of his role in promoting the Kenyan and British economies, he was honored with the Order of the British Empire, OBE, by Her Majesty the Queen Elizabeth II. His Excellency President Mwai Kibaki conferred him with the Elder of the Order of the Burning Spear Award, EBS. His Excellency President Uhuru Kenyatta had awarded him Chief of the Order of the Burning Spear, CBS. He was recognized as the most respected Chief Executive Officer in East Africa for 3 consecutive years. Dr. Chandaria holds 6 honorary doctorate degrees, namely Doctor of Science from the University of Nairobi, Doctor of Humane Letters from Kenyatta University, Doctor of Science from Kenya Methodist University, Doctor of Science from the Technical University, Doctor of Humane Letters in Entrepreneurship and Philanthropy from KCA University, and Doctor of Philosophy in Humanities from the United Graduate College and Seminary, USA. Dr. Chandaria loves working with the communities. He's involved in projects of rehabilitating street families in Kenya and served as trustee and chairman of the Street Families Rehabilitation Trust Fund for 10 years. Accomplishments. 1, he is the patron of the Global Peace Foundation in Kenya. 2, member of the Global Leadership Council. 3, chairman of the Chandaria Foundation, which is a charitable and social work network responsible for setting up, among others, Chandaria School of Business at United States International University, USU, Chandaria Business Innovation and Incubation Center at the Kenyatta University, Chandaria Center for Performing Arts at the University of Nairobi, Chandaria Accident and Emergency Center and Day Theaters at Nairobi Hospital, Chandaria Accident and Emergency Center at Pandya Hospital, Mombasa, Chandaria Medical Center at Gertrude's Children's Home Hospital, Chandaria MIV Health Center at Dagoretti, Nairobi, Chandaria Mji wa Huruma Clinic in Runda, Chandaria Body Health Center and Chandaria Body Maternity Wing, Mabati Medical Center at Mariakani, Mabati Technical Institute at Mariakani, a dozen Chandaria clinics in rural areas, Chandaria Cancer and Chronic Diseases Center at Moi Teaching and Referral Hospital, Chandaria Secondary School Scholarship for 100 students every year for the last 30 years, Chandaria University Scholarships for 30 students every year, Chandaria Bravery Awards to Police Force. Number 4, Vice Chairman of Kenindia Assurance Company Limited, Vice Chairman of East Africa Insurance Company Limited, Chairman of Bank of India Advisory Committee in Nairobi, a past member of Police Reform Task Force, past advisor to the Global School Business Networks, founding chairman, East African Business Council, Asia Foundation, Kenya Blindness Eradication Program, Rotary Club Nairobi, and Kenya Private Sector Alliance, founding trustee, Cooperative Governance Trust. 11, co-chairman of Global Peace Convention in 2010 at Nairobi, trustee and founding chairman of the Street Families Rehabilitation Trust Fund, 10 years. Number 3, longest serving member of the University of Nairobi Council. 14, Peace Ambassador of Government of Kenya. 15, past Chancellor of Technical University of Kenya. 16, past Chairman of University Council of United States International University Africa, USU. And 17, Chancellor of United States International University Africa. Business technology. Dr. Chandaria is credited with making positive changes in society by optimizing processes, maximizing resources, and igniting innovations by combining intelligent technologies, services, and industry expertise as demonstrated below. 1, Chandaria Foundation has been a benefactor of schools and clinics in Kenya, which has nurtured thousands of upcoming business entrepreneurs and supported people for medical needs. 2, Dr. Chandaria, through the Chandaria Foundation, funded the business incubation and cancer centers in Kenya. 3, endowed at United States International University Africa, USU Africa, the Chandaria Schools of Business. 4, he steered the management of Mabati Rolling Mills Limited, Kalu Works, Aluminium Africa Limited, and Bahati Limited companies, which have revolutionized the construction industry in various countries in Africa and provided roofing sheets, pipes, and cookware. 5, a trustee of Heart Foundation, he oversaw the first heart operation by the surgeons who came from United Kingdom. Since then, all major hospitals are now equipped to perform heart operations. He contributed immensely in establishment of corporate governance in Kenya. 7, he played a key role as a member of the Governing Council of the African Center for Technology Studies. 8, during his tenure as chair of the Rotary Club of Nairobi, he set up the Kenya Rural Blindness Eradication Project and the Disabled Children Rally. Memorable quotes. Businesses should look at profit as a means, not an end. The purpose of profit is to improve the lives of people in society. Second quote, industrial revolution will remain a mirage until Kenya builds a strong base for science and technology. Due to a tap-depot business technology solution, the Senate of the university, under the powers conferred by Masinde Muliro University of Science and Technology Statutes 2020, with the consent of the University Council, has determined that Dr. Manilal Premchand Chandaria be awarded the Doctor of Humane Letters, honoris causa, in business technology of this university. It is a great honor to our university that Dr. Manilal Premchand Chandaria has accepted to be conferred the degree of Doctor of Humane Letters, honoris causa, in business technology. Ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Manilal Premchand Chandaria. Today is represented here
I admit to the honorary degree of Doctor of Humane Letters in Business Technology, honoris causa, of Masinde Muliro University of Science and Technology, and by my authority and that of the entire university, give power to read and to do all that appertains to this degree.
Mr. Chancellor, sir, Dr. Manilal Premchand Chandaria has already confirmed in written the acceptance of the conferment of Doctor of Humane Letters in Business Technology. However, we have a representative whom he has sent with a special message to confirm the acceptance. With great humility, through the Vice Chancellor, may I invite the representative to come and confirm the acceptance. Thank you.
The Chancellor and all the protocols observed. On behalf of Dr. Manu Chandaria, I accept this doctorate from Masinde Muliro University. you know, the Vice Chancellor explained to you all the number of things that Dr. Manu Chandaria has done, so I do not need to go into all those kind of things. But he would have given you, the students, the graduates who have graduated now, a very, very good motivational speech. And I'm so sorry that he could not come because he's 93 years of age, and all of a sudden he developed some complications in his body, and I again apologize that he could not come. Dr. Manu Chandaria's parents came to this country about 100 years ago and made a very small beginning, and from there they expanded into huge conglomerate of businesses, and they are in several countries. Now, I would like to address the university graduates. If Dr. Manu Chandaria can do this, along with his family, so can you. He is a human being, and so are you. Everyone has got this gift from Almighty God to do something about the graduation that you have done, and you all can do it. It is such a pleasure to see that all the hard work that you people have done, and now you have become graduates. For you people, life begins now. Be a huge part of the development of your family and your country. All this will come with self-motivation and, of course, from the guidance of the excellent team of professors at this university. I was in Kakamega a few years ago, and I've seen the changes which has happened in this county. All this has happened because of leadership. I emphasize, all this has happened because of the leadership. Now, you are the leaders. You have to do something for the country and the family. Your parents have sacrificed immensely for you to be over here. Please do not forget your parents. This is the because of their sacrifice, you are here now. Now, I would like to make one point over here. I went for a graduation ceremony in the United States a few years ago. At that time, the keynote speaker was Mr. Kofi Annan, who was the United Nations Secretary General at that time. Now, when he finished his speech, one of the graduates from Wharton School, where I went to for the graduation, he stood up and he committed $600 million to build a new building for the Wharton University. Now, I tell you what the reason is. The reason that he gave was that when you are in a university and then when you graduate, you go and work in a big company, there's a huge difference between the technology that the companies are using and the technologies that the universities are using. Now, what he wanted to do was that build the university in such a way that when the graduates go for a job in these huge organizations, they're not overwhelmed. They can fit in that organization from day one. Now, I would like you to think about it. Think in such a way that grow into a big business and contribute towards the university that you graduated from. So people like you who are going to be continuing to attend these universities can benefit out of all the technology that you have contributed towards. And that is how I'd like to end. Thank you.
citation on Dr. James Mwangi, CDS, on conferment upon him of the honorary degree of Doctor of Science in Financial Innovation, honoris causa, by Masinde Muliro University of Science and Technology on Friday, 17th December, 2021. Ladies and gentlemen, today we introduce to you a gentleman who is an established business entrepreneur, an accountant, a career banker, a patriot, a financial innovator, a corporate philanthropist, a grandfather of mobile banking and Equity Group Chief Executive Officer, the Financial Times 2010 Top 50 Thought Leaders of Emerging Markets, the top 20 most influential people in Africa, 2019 Bloomberg 50 most inspiring people in the world who defined business and attained financial, politics, science, and technology, and a mentor to the young and old. Dr. Mwangi was born in Kangema, Murang'a County, Kenya in 1962. His father was killed in the Mau Mau conflict, and his family of 6 siblings was raised by their widowed mother, Grace Wairimu. The mother, who was widowed at 36 years old, struggled to take care of the family, instilling the virtues of self-discipline, charity, and humility, which inspired the then young Dr. Mwangi to be what he is today. The struggles of his mother inspired him to better his circumstances, and so Dr. Mwangi described himself as an influence of his circumstances. He would take a meal not full, but just enough to allow all his siblings have a portion. This instilled in him the virtue of generosity, or simply sharing prosperity with others. This has become Equity's mantra, sharing prosperity with others. He believes that the world has enough for everyone, but it is not shared equally. He likes to put smiles into people's faces. He is married with 3 children. Dr. Mwangi began his primary school at Nyagatugu Primary School in Kangema Village. He attended Ichagaki Secondary School on a government scholarship and Kagumo High School for his A-level education, where he studied economics, English literature, and geography. He then joined the University of Nairobi, graduating with a Bachelor of Commerce degree. To further his education, he sat and passed the Certified Public Accountant of Kenya, CPA-K, examinations. Further, he took an advanced management program at the IESE Business School in Barcelona, Spain. To give back to the community, Dr. Mwangi nurtured Nyagatugu Secondary School that saw it move from a mean of 3.4 to 9.7. From a student not qualifying to join university to taking over 90 to university in a true streamed school. Dr. Mwangi holds 5 honorary doctorate degrees, namely a Doctor of Business Administration from Kenya Methodist University, Doctor of Human Letters from Kenyatta University, and Doctor of Entrepreneurship from Jomo Kenyatta University of Agriculture and Technology. He also has a Doctor of Business Management honoris causa from Meru University of Science and Technology, and a doctorate letters from Africa Nazarene University. Dr. Mwangi began his career in banking as an auditor at Price Waterhouse. He later moved to Ernst & Young, where he worked for 3 years before joining Trade Bank as Group's financial controller. In 1991, he joined Equity on invitation by the senior executives of Equity Building Society, EBS, the precursor to Equity Bank, to steer the financial institution from insolvency. Dr. Mwangi joined Equity Building Society as the Finance and Operations Director, a position he held until 2004, when he became the CEO. Managing Director John Mwangi, the chairman, Peter Munga and Dr. Mwangi constituted the board. Mwangi converted his Kenya shilling 7 million deposit at the time with the Equity Building Society to ordinary shares, making him one of the key shareholders. In 1993, the bank's regulator, the Central Bank of Kenya, declared Equity insolvent at position 66 out of 66. Dr. Mwangi was then appointed Director of Strategy and Finance and set about training staff focusing on customer care. He also encouraged them to use their networks to attract members to the society and use 25% of their salaries to buy Equity Building Society shares. In 1997, the society began to sell shares to customers and pay annual dividends. Building the community that supported him, Dr. Mwangi encouraged his Nyakatuga village to buy shares in Equity. As at now, that single village has the most GDP per capita in Africa, holding 20% of 200 billion Equity shares. In 2006, Equity Bank listed on the Nairobi Security Exchange, NSE, and is currently the largest in the stock exchange. On 18th June 2009, the group's stock cross-listed on the Uganda Security Exchange and then in Rwanda stock exchanges in 2015. By December 2019, the Equity Group had subsidiaries in 6 countries and a commercial representative office in Ethiopia. He joined the Equity when it had 17 employees. Currently, it stands at 2,982. 9,000 customers, which now stands at 16.1 million. Currently, Equity Group Holdings has a large financial and customer base and has an asset base valued at over Kenya shillings 900 billion, approximately US dollars 9 billion. In 2020, Equity Bank was granted approval to merge 2 subsidiaries, Equity Bank Congo, EBC, and Banque Commerciale du Congo, BCDC, in the Democratic Republic of Congo, DRC. The 2 subsidiaries formed a new bank by the name Equity Banque Commerciale du Congo, Equity BCDC, which has made it the largest bank in DRC. Currently, Equity is ranked the 3rd largest bank in Uganda. Equity is the largest bank in Kenya and East Africa, East and Central Africa, and among the top 1,000 banks in the world. Accomplishments. 1. Dr. Mwangi has received 4 presidential awards for his numerous contributions. 2. Is a member of the G20 Advisory Board on Agriculture and Initiative for Global Development, IGD. 3. Guest lecturer at Stanford University, Columbia University, Harvard University, MIT, ISE, and Lagos Business School. 4. A Presidential National Task Force member on the Kenya COVID-19 Emergency Response Fund and chair of its Health Committee. 5. Chancellor, Meru University College of Science and Technology. 6. Awarded the prestigious 2020 Oslo Business for Peace Award, also known as the Nobel Prize for Business. The award is conferred annually to exceptional individuals who exemplify an outstanding business-worthy initiatives in economics and societal values. 7. African CEO of the Year by African Business Leadership Awards. 8. CEO of the Year 2019-2020 at Think Business Banking Awards. 9. 2017-2018 Bank of the Year by Banker Africa East Africa. 10, the founding chairman of Kenya Vision 2030 Delivery Board from 2007 to the year 2019. 11, awarded African Business Leader of the Year 2013 by Africa Investor Awards. 12, Innovation Leader of the Year by the Africa Investor Awards 2012. 13, awarded the 2012 Ernst & Young World Young Entrepreneur of the Year. 14, named among topmost influential people in Africa in 2011 by Financial Times. 15, awarded Global Vision Award at G8 Summit in Germany because of his equity business model. 16, Mwangi has served on boards and in advisory roles at the Global Advisory Council for Visa, INC, the Global Advisory Council for MasterCard, the Clinton Global Initiative, the G8 New Alliance for Food Security and Nutrition, President Barack Obama's Initiative for Global Development, the G20 Advisory Board of Agriculture Initiative for Global Development, and the Global Agenda Council on New Economic Thinking of the World Economic Forum. 17, he also served on the UN advisory groups on inclusive finance and global sustainability. He also served as an external advisor on a high-level panel on inclusive finance to the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. 18, he is on the Economic Advisory Board, the president of IAF, International Finance Corporation, the advisory network to the high-level panel for sustainable ocean economy, the Nairobi Advisory Board of Columbia Global Centers, Yale University President's Council on International Activities, the inaugural board of African Leadership Academy, and has been chair of the steering committee of the Young Africa Leaders Initiative, YALI, Regional Leadership Center, East Africa. 19, he's a member of the UNDP's, that's the United Nations Development Program, African Influencers for Development, A14DEV, Private Sector Afro Champions Initiative, and a board member of the Sustainable Development Goals Center for Africa, SDGC/Air. Financial innovations. Dr. Mwangi is credited with democratizing financial access to the common mwananchi. He enabled financial inclusion at Equity PLC. Notable financial innovations include the following. 1, he pioneered Equitel, multi-channel mobile product in Kenya, where customers access money through various channels. Their mobile phones, ATMs, at Equity bank agents, through debit cards, bank branches, easy mobile app, and the internet banking platform to ease accessibility and convenience for customers' money. 2, he initiated financial inclusion model. Financial inclusion happens when a big chunk of the Kenyan population are able to effectively use multiple channels to access financial services. Through his leadership, Equity has enabled commerce to easily access and actively use savings, loans, insurance, and investment products. 3, he pioneered the Wings to Fly scholarship program.
NTV, turning on your world.
Thereafter, he'll be roped by the Vice Chancellor, Professor Solomon Shibairo, assisted by Dr. Jen Mtua Musangi, the Chair of Council, Masinde Muliro University of Science and Technology, and Ms. Mercy Kareithi, the Chair of Council, Turkana University College. There they proceed. They are proceeding to the podium. They are escorted by the chairs of council. Congratulations. Thank you. Dr. Mwangi, you can face the camera now for robing. He's being robed by the Vice Chancellor, and he'll be assisted by the chairs of council. Today, Dr. Mwangi is being honored by conferring to him Doctor of Science in Financial Innovation, honoris causa. Being robed. We have had many contributions which he has made to the society. He has made a lot of contributions to the society in the financial sector. Indeed, he has been very innovative. He has been a very innovative leader. Not forgetting that Dr. Mwangi has received 4 presidential awards for his numerous contributions. He is also a member of the G20 Advisory Board on Agriculture and Initiative for Global Development, IGD. After being robed, he'll be kept. There he is, it's looking nice. Thank you. So Dr. Mwangi, now you can turn to face the Chancellor so that you can be capped by the Chancellor. Dr. Mwangi has been capped. There he is receiving his certificate. Now it's about to be conferred.
I admit you to the honorary degree of Doctor of Science in Financial Innovation honoris causa of Masinde Muliro University of Science and Technology, and by my authority and that of the entire university, give power to read and to do all that appertains to this degree.
The Chancellor can now take his seat as we invite Dr. Mwangi to give his acceptance speech. Dr. Mwangi is now invited to give his acceptance speech.
Mr. Chancellor Sir, the Chancellor Masinde Muliro University of Science and Technology, Dr. Peter Anyaga Muthoka, the Principal Secretary State Department for University Education, Ambassador Simon Nabukwesi, represented today by Madam Lucy Mugure, the Chairperson, Council, Dr. Musangi Jane Mutua, the Council Chairperson Turkana and Kaimosi constituent colleges, the Vice Chancellor, Professor Solomon Songwa Shibairo, the Vice Chancellors of other universities present, the Deputy Vice Chancellors, Deans, Registrars, Directors of faculties, non-teaching staff, parents, guardians, graduates, and students, ladies and gentlemen. Mr. Chancellor, sir, allow me to truly express my pleasure of this award and the privilege of being recognized for the award of Doctor of Financial Innovation by this great University of Science, Technology, and Innovation, University, Masinde Muliro University. As I accept this honor with humility, Mr. Chancellor, sir, allow me to recognize people who have worked with me on this journey and without whose support this would not have been possible. Mr. Chancellor, sir, allow me to recognize my family, represented here by my wife Jane, and our son Alex, for their tremendous support and encouragement. Mr. Chancellor, sir, the board and management of Equity represented here by Equity Group holding chair, Professor Isaac Masharia, the staff represented by Karani, George Onyino, and Peter Akuyo for their commitment and dedication to execute the equity vision and walking the journey of expanding opportunities for wealthy creation of our people. Last but not least, Mr. Chancellor, sir, allow me to say it could not have happened if it were not for our over 16 million customers represented in this congregation by all those who have expressed their confidence in us by allowing us to be their financial partners of choice to the equity members. I honor and salute you all. If it were not for your support, the equity dream of transforming lives, giving dignity, could never have been realized. Chancellor, sir, ladies and gentlemen, allow me to share a few reflections on that personal journey of 30 years in Equity Bank. These reflections have been triggered by this recognition, making me to reflect back on my journey that has led to this great day. Allow me to share with you some of the lessons that have picked along the way. Looking back over the 30 years that I have served in Equity, I'm reminded that when I was growing up in the village of Nyagatogo, I had no idea of the existence of banks. There was no bank near my village. My own mother, the late Grace Wairimo, like all other women in the village at that time, had no bank accounts. Looking back today, I see how much progress Equity has made in transforming access of financial services. We started by identifying the barriers that existed and made our people to be excluded from accessing financial services. And we focused on innovations that broke the chains and the barricades to access to financial services. Equity abolished ledger fee, which had made it impossible for the majority of low-income earners to have access to financial services. Customers were restricted to a maximum of withdrawing only 10,000 shillings a week. If you wanted to withdraw more than 10,000 Kenya shillings, you had to give a 14 days notice. Equity removed this barrier of limitation and the frequency of only going to the bank only once a week, and gave the customers the freedom, the choice, and control of accessing their money. Physical distance to the nearest bank branch, especially in rural areas like Nyagatogo, where I grew up, was not only time-consuming, but also too expensive, given the road network were either absent or in very bad state or totally non-existent in some areas. Equity brought banking services closer to the people by introducing mobile banking on wheels. These were land cruisers that were converted into mobile banks and moved from one village to another, especially on market days, to provide banking services. We did this whilst also evangelizing the gospel of financial education to the rural communities. We continue to innovate and move our customers from mobile banking using vehicles to availing banking services on their phones through the Equitel mobile infrastructure. Today, Equity has gone virtual, thereby compressing time and geography and giving our people the convenience of accessing banking services anytime, anywhere. Other innovations that were implemented, including abolishing account opening balance, minimum operating balance, abolishing the need for an introducer to open an account, removal of deposit fee, and no passbook photos while opening a bank account. We recognize that our greatest competitor at the time was the mattress. 97% had no bank accounts. We therefore innovated to beat the mattress by making financial services accessible, affordable, convenient, and this is the business model that differentiated Equity in the market and gave it an edge by addressing the needs and aspirations of the members or its customers. We democratized access to loans by circumventing conventional security and instead recognized charters, social capital, and group dynamics as security. This opened the door for many excluded households to access loans, unlock their dreams, particularly of educating their children. We demystified banking and made it an everyday activity that is embedded in the daily lifestyle of ordinary people, equivalent to going to a shop to buy daily household essentials such as salt, cooking oil, or sugar. By availing banking on your phone, one doesn't have to dress up in their suits or Sunday best clothes to go to the bank. They don't need to pay public transport to access the banking hall. They can access their finances while in their gardens, in their kitchen, or even when doing their daily activities. Mr. Chancellor, sir, ladies and gentlemen, looking back at these serious innovations, we see that truly Equity has made banking something you do, not a place you go to. The impact of this innovation is that we democratized banking, deepened financial inclusion, broadened access, and furthered dreams and aspirations to make them come true. As a result, financial inclusion in Kenya has grown from 4% to 87%, making Kenya one of the most financially included countries in the world. We have continued with our innovations to give our people honor and dignity. With our digital innovations, digital loans are now easily available. We introduced queue management system in our banking halls to ensure that people don't have to queue but can sit and wait for their queue numbers to show up on the counter. This abolished the indignified calling out of people loudly by their names in the banking halls. In honor of our people, we chose not to expose or discriminate those who could not read or write and introduced paperless banking and use of biometrics. This removed the indignity of struggling to complete the yellow and blue withdrawal forms and the requirement to provide signatures or thumbprints on such forms. Mr. Chancellor, sir, ladies and gentlemen, the validation of our innovations have been evident. Today, we are home to over 16 million customers. An equity assets base starts at Kenya shillings 1.25 trillion in just one generation. This has made Equity, thank you. This has made Equity the largest bank by customer base in East and Central Africa. We have witnessed the rise of a bank among its people. Equity is a story of the people. Our competition today is no longer the mattress or banks, Mr. Chancellor, sir, but cash itself, as well as the payments technology, the arms race between incumbent legacy banks, telecoms, fintechs, and big techs in the quest to transform and transit the world into a cashless or cash-light society. As Bill Gates observed, banking is necessary, but banks may not. With this in mind, our innovations are now geared towards becoming a digital technology platform ecosystem hinged on our licensed banking and financial capabilities and competencies. We are confident that our vision of a financially liberated and inclusive Eastern and Central Africa is within our reach and can be accomplished in our lifetime. Mr. Chancellor, sir, I'm humbled by the visibility of the role that Equity has played by granting us this historical recognition. I'm pleased to note that a similar recognition is being bestowed on our founding chairman, Dr. Peter Monga, hundreds of kilometers from here by Chuka University. Allow me, Mr. Chancellor, sir, now to address myself to my fellow graduates. Fellow graduates, there are numerous opportunities that come from confronting the challenges of our times. We are all graduating at a time that we might be worried about jobs, but Africa and Kenya specifically is full of challenges. From our experience and the story of Equity, I want to encourage all of you today that those challenges provide us with opportunities to create livelihoods. Dreams truly do come true to those who believe in them, believe in themselves, and pursue them with ruthless consistency, conviction, passion, and determination. The knowledge that you have acquired in this university and the power that you'll be granted to do all that appertains to your degree will need to be applied to solve society's problem. There is always a price to be paid to provide solutions. I urge you to be prepared to face the market and provide solutions that will make society's lives better. If there is anything you can borrow from my story at Equity, it is that when you find a solution to a problem that confronts society and apply yourself fully, the world will reward you several times over. It all depends on your attitude and the choices that you make. Like I mentioned earlier, at Equity, we chose to be inspired by a purpose of transforming lives, giving dignity, and creating opportunities for wealth creation. As you go out to provide solutions to the society, I urge you to clothe yourself with values of honesty, integrity, and ethics. Focus on working hard and not taking shortcuts at life. Be driven by a spirit of community service, a passion for national development, and a commitment to self-leadership. When faced with uncertainty, as you certainly will be, and occasionally face despair, tap into your network of fellow graduates and alumni of this institution for inspiration, and believe in the only thing that certain is life is change. Change that you bring forth will be adopted. Above all, remain true to your values as they shape the outcomes of your life. Target to have a purpose-driven life and to conduct yourself ethically. Don't fall in the trap of instant gains. Every reward and success is as a result of hard work, patience, focus, resilience, and determination. In each of us lies the power of one. Utilize that power in you. It's God-given to realize the aspiration God had in your creation. Today, our reward in Equity is that we have become the leading bank in East and Central Africa with operations in 6 countries: Kenya, Uganda, Tanzania, South Sudan, Rwanda, DRC, and a representative office in Ethiopia. Allow me to recognize and to congratulate in absentia Dr. Manu Chandaria, Mr. Chancellor Sir. Mr. Chandaria has been a great beacon of hope for Kenya, a man who has inspired and challenged me to continuously improve. Dr. Chandaria, I thank you and congratulate you for the role you are playing in making lives and livelihoods better in our country. And finally, my fellow graduates, as alumni of this great university, let us commit to making our contribution in making Masinde Muliro, our alma mater, the university of the future generations. Once again, I'm humbled, Mr. Chancellor Sir, and privileged to receive this honor. I thank you and wish you all a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. God bless you all.
Mr. Chancellor, sir, as we went on, we have received a few guests. May I take this opportunity and recognize the following guests? When we recognize you, please stand so that we can see you. The first one is amongst us is Justice Said J. Jitembwe of the High Court of Kenya. He's one of the graduates. Then we have George Onyimbo of Equity Bank, Western General, is the Western General Manager, Equity Bank. We also have Nakasio Karani Migwi of Equity Bank, Peter Akuyo of Equity Bank, Alex Njuguna, ML Holdings Nairobi, yes, and Honorable Lucy Chogo, Member County Assembly representing the Education Committee of Kakamega County. And Honorable Dr. Janet Nangila Manyasi, is the Minister in charge of Sports, Culture and Social Services, County Government of Busia. Also a member of staff in School of Business and Economics.
Chancellor, sir, may I call upon deans of schools to present graduates for conferment of Doctor of Philosophy degree in the following order. Dean, School of Disaster Management and Humanitarian Assistance, Professor Kennedy Onkware. Dean, School of Education, Professor Moses Poipoi. Dean, School of Natural Sciences, Dr. Joseph Owino. Dean, School of Business and Economics, Professor Robert Egesa. Dean, School of Public Health, Biomedical Sciences and Technology, Professor Edwin Wamukoya.
Mr. Chancellor, sir, I have the honor to present the following three graduates who in the 2020-2021 academic year satisfied the Board of Examiners of the School of Disaster Management and Humanitarian Assistance and Senate for the conferment of the following Doctor of Philosophy degrees. Doctor of Philosophy in Peace and Conflict Studies. 1. Kashaga Peter Mungai, thesis title, Efficacy of Informal Peace Committees in Peace Building in Nairobi County, Kenya, since 1990. Supervisors, Professor Crispino Siteo and Professor Janet Kasili. 2. Kisilu John Ruben, thesis title, Efficacy of Negotiation in the Management of the Intra-Somalia Conflict, 1991 to 2021. Supervisors, Dr. Susi Kimokoti, Dr. George Lutomia. 3. Said Chitembwe Juma, thesis title, Criminal Justice System and Youth Radicalization in Mombasa and Kwale Counties, Kenya, since 2009. Supervisors, Professor Matanga K. Frank and Professor Godfrey Okoth.
Mr. Chancellor, sir, I have the honor to present the following one graduate who in 2020-2021 academic year satisfied the Board of Examiners of the School of Education and Senate for the conferment of the following Doctor of Philosophy degree. Doctor of Philosophy in Science Education, Atieno Mbati Electina. Thesis title, An Investigation of Preparedness of Pre-Service Biology Teachers in Content Knowledge, Technological and Pedagogical Skills, a case study of universities in Western Kenya. Supervisors, Professor Martin Wanjala and Dr. Peter Edome.
Mr. Chancellor, sir, I have the honor to present the following two graduates who in the 2020-2021 academic year satisfied the Board of Examiners of the School of Natural Sciences and Senate for the conferment of the following Doctor of Philosophy degrees. Doctor of Philosophy in Microbiology, Kimutai Nicholas Kogo. Thesis title, Antibacterial Activities of Compounds Isolated from Selected Medicinal Plants from Nandi County, Kenya.
Supervisors, Dr. Philip Ogutu, Professor Charles Mutai. Doctor of Philosophy in Molecular Biology, Oliver Makwaga. Thesis title, Molecular Characterization of HIV Type 1 Drug Resistance Patterns Amongst Patients in Busia County, Kenya. Supervisors, Professor John Mwoma and Professor Matilu Mwao.
Mr. Chancellor, sir, I have the honor to present the following one graduate who, in the 2020-2021 academic year, satisfied the Board of Examiners of the School of Business and Economics and Senate for conferment of the following Doctor of Philosophy degree. Doctor of Philosophy in Business Administration, Human Resource Management option, Nzula Priscilla Iteo. Title of thesis, Strategic Staff Development Practices, Organization Culture and Performance Among Public Universities in Western Kenya. Supervisors, Professor Benedict Ondiekalala, Dr. Janet Nangila Manyasi.
Mr. Chancellor, sir, I have the honor to present the following three graduates who in the 2020-2021 academic year satisfied the Board of Examiners of the School of Public Health, Biomedical Sciences and Technology and Senate for the conferment of the following Doctor of Philosophy degrees. Doctor of Philosophy in Health Promotion, Litali Grace. Thesis title, Exploring Out-of-Pocket Expenditure, Protection, and Quality of Health Services in Kakamega County. Supervisors, Professor Peter Bukhala, Professor Gordon Nguka. 2, Lusweti Consolata. Thesis title, Partnership Intervention Model for Improved Maternal and Child Health Outcomes among Pregnant Women Living with Disability in Kakamega County, Kenya. Supervisors, Professor Peter Bukhala and Professor Gordon Nguka. Doctor of Philosophy in Biomedical Sciences, Medical Microbiology, Kilongosi Mark Webale. Thesis title, Characterization and Seasonality of Enteric Bacteria and Antibiotic Resistance among Children under 5 years attending Bagathi Hospital, Nairobi, Kenya. Supervisors, Dr. Christine Wanjala and Dr. Bernard Guya.
Mr. Chancellor, sir, may I now invite the graduates one by one so that they can be capped by the Chancellor. The first graduate is Kashaga Peter Mungai, who is being conferred with the Doctor of Philosophy in Peace and Conflict Studies. May now move forward so that you are capped by the Chancellor. Dr. Kashaka Peter Mungai is being capped by the Chancellor. The supervisors were Professor Crispina Soy Iteo and Professor Janet Kasili. It's being conferred with a degree of Doctor of Philosophy in Peace and Conflict Studies. The next, Mr. Chancellor Sir, is Kisilu John Ruben. Kisilu John Ruben, who is being conferred with the Doctor of Philosophy in Peace and Conflict Studies. There he comes. His thesis was Efficacy of Negotiation in the Management of Intrastate Somalia Conflict, 1991-2021. It's being capped. The supervisors, Dr. Susi Kimokot and Dr. George Lutomia. Congratulations. The next is Said Chitembwe Juma. Said Chitembwe Juma. He did his thesis in criminal justice systems and the youth radicalization in Mombasa and Kwale counties, Kenya, since 2003. There he comes. He's being escorted by Professor Matanga Frank and Professor Godfrey Okoth. That is Said Chitembwe Juma. Dr. Chitembwe Juma is being capped by the Chancellor. Congratulations. Congratulations. Next is Atieno Mbati Electin. Atieno Mbati Electin, having researched on an investigation of preparedness of pre-service biology teachers in content knowledge, technological and pedagogical skills, a case study of universities in Western Kenya, supervised by Professor Martin Wanjala and Dr. Peter Edome. It's being capped by the Chancellor. Congratulations. Congratulations, Dr. Tieno. Next is Kimutai Nicholas Kogo, having researched on antibacterial activities of compounds isolated from selected medicinal plants from Nandi County, Kenya, escorted by Dr. Philip Okutu and Professor Charles Mutai, the supervisors. Is being capped by the Chancellor. Congratulations, Dr. Kimutai Nicholas Kogo. Next is Oliver Makwanga. Oliver Makwanga researched on molecular characterization of HIV type 1 drug resistance patterns among patients in Busia County, Kenya. The supervisors, Professor John Mwama, Professor Mutili Mwau, Dr. David Mulama, is being capped by the Chancellor. Congratulations. Congratulations. Next is Zula Priscilla Iteo. Zula Priscilla Iteo, having researched on strategic staff development practices, organization culture, and organizational performance among public universities in Kenya, escorted by the supervisors, Professor Benedict Ondiek and Dr. Janet Manyasi, is being capped by the Chancellor. Congratulations, Dr. Zula Priscilla Iteo. Next is Litali Grace. Litali Grace. Litali Grace, having researched on exploring out-of-pocket expenditure protection and the quality of health services in Kakamega County. Supervisors, Professor Peter Bukhala and Professor Cotton Guka. It's being capped by the Chancellor. Congratulations, Dr. Litali Grace. Next is Lusweti Consalata. Lusweti Consolata researched on partnership intervention, model for improved maternal and child health outcomes among pregnant women living with a disability in Kakamega County, Kenya. And the supervisors were Professor Peter Buhala and Professor Gordon Guka. There she comes. She's being capped by the Chancellor. Congratulations. Last is Kilongozi Mark Wabele. Kilongozi Mark Webale. He researched on characterization and seasonality of enteric bacteria and antibiotic resistance among children under 5 years attending Bakadhi Hospital, Nairobi City, Kenya. It's been capped by the Chancellor. The supervisors were Dr. Christine Wanjala and Dr. Bernard Kuya. Now the Chancellor is conferring unto them their doctorate degrees.
I admit you to the degree of Doctor of Philosophy, and by my authority and that of the entire university, give power to read and to do all that appertains to this degree.
Mr. Chancellor, sir, may I call upon deans of schools to present graduates for conferment of master's and bachelor's degrees and award of diplomas and certificates in the following order. Dean, School of Nursing, Midwifery and Paramedical Sciences, Mr. John Arudo. Dean, School of Agriculture, Veterinary Sciences and Technology, Professor Jacob Wahungu. Dean, School of Engineering and Built Environment, Professor Bernadette Sabuni. Dean, School of Public Health, Biomedical Sciences and Technology, Professor Edwin Wamukoya. Dean, School of Disaster Management and Humanitarian Assistance, Professor Kennedy Onkware. Dean, School of Natural Sciences, Dr. Joseph Owino. Dean, School of Sciences, Kaimosi Friends University College, Dr. George Manyali. Dean, School of Science and Technology, Turkana University College, Dr. Peter Edome. Dean, School of Computing and Informatics, Dr. Daniel Otanga. Dean, School of Computing and Informatics, Kaimosi Friends University College, Dr. Kelvin Omieno. Dean, School of Business and Economics, Professor Robert Egesa. Dean, School of Business and Economics, Kaimosi University College, Dr. Dennis Ouma. Dean, School of Business and Economics, Turkana University College, Mr. Darius Bosire. Dean, School of Education, Professor Moses Poipoi. Dean, School of Education and Social Sciences, Kaimosi Friends University College, Dr. Eric Okwako. Dean, School of Education and Social Sciences, Turkana University College, Dr. Susan Ouko. Dean, School of Arts and Social Sciences, Dr. Rose Auma.
Mr. Chancellor, sir, I have the honor to present the following three graduates who in the 2020-2021 academic year satisfied the Board of Examiners of the School of Nursing, Midwifery, and Paramedical Sciences and Senate for the conferment of the following master's degrees. Master of Science in Advanced Nursing Practice, Midwifery, B. Chepkorir Emily. Master of Science in Advanced Nursing Practice, Medical Surgical Nursing, Gabwa Thomas Ugondo. Master of Science in Advanced Nursing Practice, Trauma and Emergency, Okwiri Dina Akosa. Please be seated. I would also like to request all graduates for the degree of Bachelor of Science in Nursing to rise and take the Kenyan Nurses Pledge. I'll ask you to repeat after me the following pledge. Wherever you are, could you stand up? I, mention your name, do solemnly swear before Almighty God and in the presence of this assembly to observe the Nurses' Code of Ethics and Conduct. I shall faithfully practice my profession in accordance with the laid down laws and regulations as provided for in the Nurses Act, Cap 257 of the laws of Kenya. I shall abstain from whatever is deleterious and mischievous, and shall not take or knowingly administer harmful drugs. I shall do all in my power to maintain and elevate the standard of my profession. I shall hold in confidence all personal matters committed to me and all family affairs coming to my knowledge in the practice of my calling. I shall endeavor to work in collaboration with the other team members in the provision of healthcare and devote myself to the welfare of those committed to my care. So help me God. Kindly be seated. I would also like to request the graduates for the degree of Bachelor of Science in Paramedical Science to rise and take the paramedical pledge. Kindly repeat after me the following pledge. I, mention your name, will honor the physical and judicial laws of God and man. I will follow that regimen which, according to my ability and judgment, I consider for the benefit of patients and abstain from whatever is deleterious and mischievous, nor shall I suggest any such counsel. Into whatever homes I enter, I will go into them for the benefit of only the sick and injured, never revealing what I see or hear in the lives of men unless required by law. I shall also share my medical knowledge with those who may benefit from what I have learned. I will serve unselfishly and continuously in order to help make a better world for all mankind. While I continue to keep this oath unviolated, may it be granted to me to enjoy life and the practice of art, respected by all men in all times. Should I trespass or violate this oath, may the reverse be my lot. So help me God. You may be seated. Mr. Chancellor, sir, I have the honor to present the following 140 graduates who in the 2020-2021 academic year satisfied the Board of Examiners of the School of Nursing, Midwifery, and Paramedical Sciences and Senate for the conferment of the following degrees. You may stand. Bachelor of Science in Nursing, Serial 1 to Serial 83. Bachelor of Science in Midwifery, Serial 84 to Serial 90. Bachelor of Science in Paramedical Sciences, Serial 91 to 116. Bachelor of Science in Medical Social Work, Serial 117 to 125. Bachelor of Science in Occupational Safety and Health, Serial 126 to Serial 135. And lastly, Bachelor of Science in Global Health and Travel Medicine, Serial 136 to Serial 140. Kindly be seated. Thank you.
Mr. Chancellor, sir, I have the honor to present the following 237 graduates who in the 2020-2021 academic year satisfied the Board of Examiners of School of Agriculture, Veterinary Sciences and Technology and Senate for conferment of the following degrees. Bachelor of Science in Agriculture and Biotechnology, second class honors, upper division, serial number 1 to serial number 10. Second class honors, lower division, serial number 11 to serial number 33. Bachelor of Science in Agricultural Education and Extension, second class honors, upper division, serial number 34 to serial number 73. Second class honors, lower division, serial number 74 to serial number 108. Bachelor of Science in Animal Production, second class honors, upper division, serial number 109 to serial number 119. Second class honors, lower division, serial number 120 to serial number 127. Pass, serial number 128. Bachelor of Science in Fisheries and Aquaculture, second class honors, upper division, serial number 129 to 134. Second class honors, lower division, serial number 142 to 145. Bachelor of Science in Sugar and Agro-Processing Technology, second class honors, upper division, serial number 146. Second class honors, lower division, serial number 147 to serial number 148. Bachelor of Science in Agribusiness, Management and Marketing, second class honors, upper division, serial number 149 to serial number 160. Second class honors, lower division, serial number 161 to serial number 178. Bachelor of Science in Agricultural Economics and Resource Management, second class honors, upper division, serial number 179 to serial number 199. Second class honors, lower division, serial number 200 to serial number 214. Bachelor of Science in Food Science and Technology, second class honors, upper division, serial number 215 to 220. Second class honors, lower division, serial number 221 to 233. Bachelor of Science in Food Processing Technology, second class honors, lower division, serial number 234 to serial number 237. Mr. Chancellor, sir, I have the honor to present the following 13 graduates who in the 2020-2021 academic year satisfied the Board of Examiners of School of Agriculture, Veterinary Sciences and Technology and the Senate for the award of the following diplomas and certificates. Diploma in General Agriculture, Credit 1, serial number 1 to serial number 2. Credit 2, serial number 3. Diploma in Horticulture, Credit 1, serial number 4. Credit 2, serial number 5. Certificate in General Agriculture, Credit 1, serial number 7 to serial number 13. Please be seated.
Mr. Chancellor, sir, I have the honor to present the following 51 graduates who in the 2020-2021 academic year satisfied the Board of Examiners of the School of Engineering and Built Environment and Senate for the conferment of the following degrees: Bachelor of Science in Civil and Structural Engineering, Second Class Honors Upper Division, Serial 1 to 9. Second Class Honors Lower Division, Serial 10 to 18. Bachelor of Science in Mechanical and Industrial Engineering, First Class Honors, Bevi Benedetta Kameme. Second Class Honors Upper Division, Serial 20 to 23. Second Class Honors Lower Division, Serial 24 to 27. Bachelor of Science in Electrical and Communication Engineering, First Class Honors, Murithi John Dennis. Second Class Honors, Upper Division, Serial 29 to 33. Second Class Honors, Lower Division, Serial 34 and 35. Bachelor of Science in Renewable Energy Technology, Second Class Honors, Upper Division, Serial 36 to 39, Second Class Honors, Lower Division, Serial 40 and 41. Bachelor of Technology Education, Electrical and Electronic Engineering Option, Second Class Honors, Lower Division, Serial 42 to 47. Bachelor of Technology Education, Mechanical Engineering Option, Second Class Honors, Lower Division, Serial 48 and 49. Bachelor of Technology Education, Civil Engineering Option, Second Class Honors, Lower Division, Serial 50 and 51. Please be seated wherever you are. Mr. Chancellor, sir, I have the honor to present the following 11 graduates who in the 2020-2021 academic year satisfy the Board of Examiners of the School of Engineering and Built Environment and Senate for the award of Diploma in Civil and Structural